You know what truly breaks a man? It's not failure, it's not rejection, it's when he starts believing that his weakness is bigger than his purpose. The world can't destroy you unless you hand it the weapon, and that weapon is your own weakness. Let's talk about it. Number one, the real battle lies within. The real battle lies within, not outside, not in the world, not in other people, but in the quiet places of your own mind and heart. Every man faces challenges. Every man meets obstacles. But the true test is not how he handles the blows of life. It's how he handles himself. The world may throw stones, people may doubt you, life may test you beyond measure. But the fight that truly determines your future happens in silence, inside your thoughts. It's the war between courage and fear, between faith and doubt, between persistence and surrender. Most men lose not because the world was too strong, but because their will was too weak. The moment you stop fighting the inner war, the outer one will consume you. This is the reason why two people can face the same problem and one rises while the other breaks. The difference is not in the size of their struggle, but in the strength of their spirit. One sees pain and finds purpose. The other sees pain and finds excuses. That's the invisible war. The battle of thoughts, choices, and beliefs. When you lose control of your thoughts, you hand over your power to the world. But when you train your mind to stay strong, when you decide that no matter what happens, you will not quit, that's when the tide turns. That's when strength begins to grow from the inside. No army, no storm, no failure can destroy a man who has learned to master himself. Because the truth is, victory doesn't start with opportunity. It starts with self-control. Every act of discipline is a small victory in this unseen battle. When you control your anger instead of letting it control you, when you choose gratitude instead of resentment, when you rise and keep going instead of giving up, you're winning. The real strength is not in muscles or status or applause. It's in the calm determination to keep standing, even when everything inside you screams to fall. The world rewards those who win the inner war first. The man who learns to conquer his thoughts will eventually conquer his reality. The man who learns to stay peaceful in chaos becomes unshakable. Because when you have command over the battlefield within, the world outside no longer frightens you. It starts to follow your lead. Number two, circumstances don't define strength. Character does. Circumstances don't define strength. Character does. Life has a strange way of testing what we're truly made of. Sometimes it's through loss, sometimes through failure, and sometimes through long seasons of silence where nothing seems to move. But strength is never built in comfort. It is shaped in the moments that break you, in the moments that stretch you, and in the moments that force you to choose between giving up and growing up. A man's real worth is not measured by how easy his path is. It's revealed by how he walks through the fire when no one is watching. The truth is, circumstances are temporary, but character is permanent. And the stronger your character, the less power your circumstances have over you. Anyone can look strong when things are going right. It's easy to be calm when life is kind, but when everything falls apart, that's when your true strength shows. That's when your values are tested, your patience is stretched, and your faith is questioned. And yet, those are the exact moments that shape your destiny. Life doesn't test you to break you. It tests you to reveal you, to show you who you really are when the mask of comfort is gone. Strength built on ease fades fast, but strength built on endurance lasts a lifetime. You see, some men spend their lives blaming circumstances. They say, if only I had a better start, or if only things were fair, but strength has never been about what you're given. It's about what you build with what you have. The man who takes responsibility for his life, even in chaos, develops a power that no setback can destroy. Because character is not born from what happens to you. It's born from how you respond. Every trial you face is a mirror, showing you your inner self, the part of you that refuses to quit even when it hurts. Real strength comes from integrity, from doing the right thing when it's the hardest thing to do. It comes from standing by your values when temptation whispers otherwise. The world might judge you by your results, but life rewards you by your character. Because results can fade, titles can be taken, success can shift, but who you are when the world goes dark, that's your real power. Number 3, self-discipline is power. Self-discipline is power. The kind of power that doesn't shout, doesn't demand attention, and doesn't depend on others to move forward. It's the quiet force that separates the average from the exceptional, the dreamers from the doers, and the wishers from the winners. Every great life, every strong leader, every man or woman who ever built something meaningful did it through the daily practice of discipline. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It's the decision to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it, because feelings fade, but discipline builds. It trains your mind to serve your purpose instead of your comfort, and that's where true strength begins. Discipline is not punishment. It's freedom. It frees you from the control of impulse, laziness, and distraction. The undisciplined person is like a ship without a rudder, tossed by every wave, easily swayed by every emotion, and lost in every storm. But the disciplined soul stays the course, even when the winds rage and the waters rise. Discipline keeps you grounded when success tempts you to relax, and it keeps you going when failure tries to convince you to stop. It teaches you to delay gratification, to hold your vision when progress seems invisible, and to keep building when no one is watching. The world glorifies talent, but talent without discipline collapses under pressure. Discipline sharpens talent, sustains motivation, and transforms potential into results. It's the bridge between intentions and outcomes, between goals and achievements. Every time you wake up early to pursue your goals, every time you resist an unhealthy habit, every time you push yourself to stay focused when your mind wants to quit, you are building invisible strength. That's the kind of strength that doesn't fade when life gets hard. It grows stronger. The truth is, discipline is not about control. It's about commitment. It's the promise you make to yourself and the promise you keep. It's saying, I will show up for my goals even when it's hard. Because in the end, self-discipline is the foundation of all success. Without it, dreams stay dreams. With it, ordinary people do extraordinary things. It's the quiet power that turns effort into excellence and motion into mastery. Number 4, excuses build weakness. Action builds strength. Excuses build weakness. Action builds strength. Every time you make an excuse, you surrender a piece of your power. You convince yourself that the problem is too big, that the timing isn't right, or that someone else is to blame. Excuses are comfortable because they allow you to stay still while pretending you're trying. But comfort is the enemy of growth. When you hide behind excuses, you're not protecting yourself from failure. You're protecting your weakness from being exposed. The truth is, excuses don't change your circumstances. They only chain you to them. And the longer you feed those excuses, the weaker your resolve becomes. Action, on the other hand, is the language of strength. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions or ideal opportunities. It moves, even when the path is unclear, even when fear whispers that it's impossible. Every action you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. Every step forward strengthens your belief that you can. Action transforms doubt into direction and fear into fuel. It's not thinking about change that changes your life. It's doing something about it. The moment you replace excuses with effort, life begins to open up in ways you never imagined. Excuses are easy to make because they offer temporary comfort, but comfort never creates growth. When you choose excuses over effort, you choose regret over progress. You build a habit of surrender, a mindset that says, I can't, when in reality, you simply won't. Weakness is not inherited, it's practiced, one excuse at a time. But the beautiful thing about action is that it reverses that process. Action teaches the mind that strength is a choice. It reminds you that success doesn't come from what you plan to do someday, it comes from what you do today. Every person who has ever achieved something great started with uncertainty, fear, and doubt. The difference was they acted anyway. They understood that waiting for the perfect time is just another excuse dressed as logic. Strength doesn't come from avoiding challenges, it comes from facing them head on. Every time you choose action over excuse, you build discipline, courage, and faith. And slowly you become stronger, not because life got easier, but because you stopped waiting for easy. Number 5, faith over fear. Faith over fear. That's the choice that defines every strong soul. Fear is loud, convincing, and constant. It whispers that you're not ready, not worthy, not enough. It paints pictures of failure long before you've even begun. But faith, though quiet, carries a different kind of power, the power to move forward even when the road ahead is dark. Faith doesn't remove fear, it teaches you to walk through it. It's the steady voice inside that says, Even if I can't see the way, I'll still take the next step. And that's where transformation begins. Every great victory starts with that moment, when faith takes the lead and fear loses its grip. Fear thrives on uncertainty. It feeds on your imagination, showing you every possible thing that could go wrong. It freezes your potential and convinces you that staying safe is better than growing strong. But safety has never built anything great. The people who rise, who create, who lead, they all feel fear. The difference is they don't bow to it. They trust something greater, their purpose, their vision, their belief that there is meaning behind every challenge. Faith doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means you choose not to surrender to it. It means you trust that no matter what happens, you'll find strength in the storm. When you walk in faith, you stop depending on guarantees and start depending on growth. You understand that setbacks are not signs to stop, they're signals to strengthen your belief. Fear may tell you that you're not capable, but faith reminds you that you're not alone. Fear will always show you your limits. Faith will always reveal your possibilities. It gives you the courage to keep moving, to keep believing, even when logic tells you to quit. Because faith isn't about knowing the outcome. It's about trusting the process. Life will always test your balance between faith and fear. You'll stand at crossroads where one path feels safe and predictable, while the other feels uncertain but full of purpose. That's the moment of truth, the moment where character is born. Fear keeps you where you are, but faith pushes you toward who you're meant to become. And once you've tasted the strength that comes from choosing faith, fear loses its authority over your life. Number 6, inner strength creates outer success. Inner strength creates outer success. The world often teaches us to chase external achievements, wealth, recognition, validation. But the truth is, none of these can be sustained without inner stability. Success that is not rooted in inner strength collapses under the weight of pressure. The man who hasn't mastered himself will eventually be mastered by his circumstances. True success begins when you stop fighting the world and start building yourself. It's when you learn to control your emotions, focus your energy, and stand firm in your values. That strength becomes the foundation on which every victory is built, because what's inside you will always determine what grows around you. Inner strength is not about pretending to be unshakable. It's about standing tall even when you're trembling. It's the quiet power that keeps you grounded when everything around you is unstable. When you develop inner strength, you stop reacting to every setback, every insult, every disappointment. You begin to respond with wisdom, not weakness. You realize that peace is not found in avoiding storms, but in learning to remain calm within them. Outer success, whether it's in career, relationships, or goals, is simply the reflection of that inner balance. The stronger you are on the inside, the smoother your path becomes on the outside. Many people chase outer success thinking it will bring them confidence, but confidence is born within. It grows every time you overcome fear, every time you stay disciplined when no one is watching, every time you choose patience over frustration. That invisible growth inside you becomes visible in everything you touch. Inner strength gives your life direction, while outer success gives it expression. But when you reverse that, when you depend on success to make you strong, you build your life on fragile ground. The truth is, outer success can be taken away, but inner strength cannot. You can lose money, opportunities, or status, but if you've built a resilient spirit, you'll rebuild everything again. That's the power of inner strength. It's what turns pain into power, loss into wisdom, and struggle into stability. The man who invests in his inner world never truly loses, because every challenge he faces becomes another step toward mastering himself. So, as you walk away from this message, remember this: the world outside you is only as powerful as the world within you. No failure can defeat a person who refuses to surrender on the inside. Build yourself before you build anything else. Strengthen your thoughts, discipline your emotions, and hold your faith firm when everything feels uncertain. Because when your inner world is unshakable, success, peace, and respect will naturally follow. The real victory is not out there. It begins right here, within you.